Hey guys, it is I, Kuroninja, and it's time to talk about Gavan Infinity. A lot of people were very cynical about the series that was going to replace Sentai, but as a fan of the original Gavan, I disagreed with those people. I have to be honest though, I was a bit cautious about my expectations, and I don't know if it's because of the collectible artifacts or the fact that there were rumors of a multiverse setting. Another thing I wanted to see in Gavan Infinity were human villains, or villains with human disguises, just like the Double Men in the original Space Sheriff Gavan, but I was concerned it wouldn't happen. Anyway, the cast and some other stuff have been revealed, and some of my worries have been resolved, but there's still something I was a bit concerned about, and it wasn't the collectible artifacts. When they were first revealed, I thought they were a bit too cartoony and clashed with the aesthetic the series is going for, but it turns out the Imor Gears are living creatures, so I'm fine with them for now. What I'm more worried about is the fact that there's a multiverse. Now, what I'm about to say might sound a bit hypocritical, considering I'm known for traveling all over my own multiverse, but I'm not really a fan of multiverse stories. If done wrong, they can make the stakes or anything the characters do feel insignificant. I'll admit I used to be a fan of the concept, but then everyone started making stories about the multiverse in 2022. My best moment in that time didn't even involve traveling to other worlds. It was just me going to a music festival. On the other hand, this year I celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the Kuroninja series, so it's poetic that we're getting a show about characters who are from different universes, but go by the same name. Speaking of those characters, let's talk about them, starting with the Gavan this series is named after. His name is Doki Reiji, and he's got a whole team on his side similar to Ultraman. Despite the fact that he's said to get his power from suppressed anger, I have a feeling he's gonna be a more cool, serious protagonist. A good thing about this being a new franchise is that Reiji might be a good character even if he's a red hero. I couldn't say the same for him if this was Super Sentai. Reiji is also joined by a scientist from another Earth and a sidekick named Agi who reminds me of the VTuber Kizuna Ai. And before you say anything, that is the full extent of my VTuber knowledge. I am not interested in that medium. Oh yeah, one of the things about Space Sheriff is that each of them have a companion. And since there's 3 different Gavans, there's 3 different companions. I'll give more of my thoughts later, but I need to take a break, so I'll pass the baton to another Kuroninja in the multiverse. Hello everyone, Anti-Kuroninja here. A lot of you know me as the Emerald Mastermind and the Kuroninja of Earth -1. Kuroninja asked me to talk about Gavan Bushido. I don't know why he asked me, because I don't know anything about Gavan or Bushido, but he did give me some notes, so let's see what we got. Okay, so this is Gavan Bushido, Setsuna Ai Kokuin. He looks interesting. I don't have a lot to say about him, but it seems he's more of a simulacrum created as a soldier. And he also wants to learn human emotions, especially how to shed tears. He kind of feels like a cross between Gokai Blue and that Silver Ranger from Q Ranger, and I have a feeling Kuroninja might like him, because those two are his favorites of their respective teams. Setsuna's companion is Rui Amo, who's portrayed by Anna Iriyama, a former member of some group called AKB48. I don't know anything about AKB48, because there's only one singer that matters to me, Masaki Sato, and because of that, I have nothing else to say, so I'm gonna pass the baton to another Kuroninja. What's up everyone, it's me, Kuroninja Gold. I'm the Kuroninja of Earth 25, and I'm here to give my thoughts on Gavan Luminous, because the Kuroninja of Earth 1 can't be bothered to do it himself. It appears that Gavan Luminous is a scientist named Kiki Iwai, who's joined by her close friend, Kotobuki Takanari. Their dynamic reminds me of Space Sheriff Scheider, because from the notes I got, Kotobuki seems to be the one who does most of the action, even though she's the sidekick. Now I have no idea why the Kuroninja of Earth 1 isn't talk about all the characters himself, considering he likes to talk about himself. For someone who thinks there are no good Red Rangers in Super Sentai because they steal the spotlight for themselves, he sure does like to do that in his adventures. If you'd like a better, more virtuous host who fits the standards of a true hero, like those from Super Sentai, write down in the comments that you want Kuroninja Gold to host a video on this channel. And maybe the Kuroninja of Earth Zero, who produces and edits these videos, might take notice. It's not going to be a video about Gavan Infinity though, because unless Haruna Ikubo gets cast in an episode or something, I'm not interested in watching it. Anyways, I'm out of here. Alright, I'm back. Apparently, anti-Kuroninja asked Kuroninja Gold to talk about Gavan Luminous, but I don't think he's interested in Project Red. One thing I found out about Gavan Luminous is that she's portrayed by Sumi Kokona, who previously appeared in a drama starring the actress of my producer's favorite character in Kamen Rider Drive and the actor of Kamen Rider Tycoon. Now there are some other characters to take note of, and they are someone who might be a reference to Commander Com from the original Space Sheriff series, and then there's two characters who might be a comic relief duo. One of those characters is a robot named Pataran, and although I'm not really fond of mascot-looking characters, Pataran reminds me of Baten Robomaru, so it might be a throwback to a similar tokusatsu, possibly Robotech since it's a Metal Hero season. Okay, so we know about the heroes, but surprisingly there wasn't any information about the villains. What I do know is that there will be human villains, or at least villains with human disguises, which is something I was hoping for. One thing I would like to see from Gavan Infinity is a flower-themed monster who uses perfume to make people violent and obsessed with makeup, just like my favorite double monster in the original Space Sheriff Gavan. But anyway, that is all for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, I have nothing to do with Kuroninja.